motherfuckers. This is Bearded Bollox episode 3. I am Bearded James.
I'm Beardy Aaron.
And we're going to talk some Bearded Bollox. So we're going to start this week by a new segment that we're going to put in, which is with myself, Bearded James. I don't know if you've noticed already, but Flopsy Cox isn't with us on this one. So his segment has been replaced with
Wanking with Bearded James.
Wanking with Bearded James. And it's basically, with my illustrious position at Blockbusters, I get to play games and watch films before they come out. So, Wanking with Bearded James is going to be me sitting here talking to you about games and films that haven't come out yet, or maybe they have come out yet. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to talk about them and you're going to enjoy them.
So you've played Assassin's Creed Revelations a few days before it came out. What do you think of that?
I certainly have, and long story short, I'll go a bit more in depth to it after I've told you the long story short. I'll get to it eventually. It's pretty shit, in my opinion. Obviously, this is only my opinion. You guys might buy it when it comes out and you might love it. I'm not the biggest of Assassin's Creed fans in the first place, but I've got Brotherhood as well as Revelations. And I still prefer Brotherhood. Brotherhood has more to offer. The online it's near enough the same on both games. So, to be honest, I did about 5 or 6 of the missions, and I found myself doing the same things over and over again. And let's face it, when you're in like fighting combats, you don't need to do anything other than hit square. Yeah. There are other things you can do.
To counter.
Yeah, but you don't have to counter.
No.
Like I could go through the whole game only pressing square and using the left analog.
But most people, when they're in fighting games, will normally button mash. So it's taken away the random button mashing.
I
just
suppose,
have one button to mash.
But if you look at like Uncharted's got the system where it's like it's just 2 buttons, and yet that works so much better than that. Like circle is reverse, and square is to punch or kick or whatever attacking motion you're going to do, and yet they pulled it off so much better than this.
But I think, like in the missions, most of them, if you're having to fight people, then you've messed up the stealthy bit.
Yeah, that is true, and I'm not the greatest at stealth on Assassin's Creed, so
like when you're running about the city, occasionally guards will come out and
start shit with you.
Yeah. But you can just run away.
That is true, and hide in a hay barrel for some reason.
Yeah,
I mean, if you are a fan of the other ones, which you are, which Bearded Aaron is, then you will like it. And you'll probably find it better than the other ones, because there is not one fault I can pick at the graphics in the game. They have really fine-tuned the graphics. It looks so crisp and so perfect, it's unreal. But it's just the gameplay I didn't like. And I mean, which is a shame, because I've heard a lot of good things like from other people I work with that have played it that really bum off it and they love it. So, I mean, I wish I would have liked it, but I don't, so boom. I also checked out a couple of films this week, because as another part of working at Blockbusters, I get to watch a shitload of films. And I checked out a couple of films late last night that I was watching, and they were The Messenger with Woody Harrelson and Ben Foster. You've probably heard of it. If you haven't, go search it up. It's got shitloads of good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. And Blitz with Jason Statham. And I apologise for not knowing the name of the other lead in it, but he is famous. It'll be on Wikipedia. It's not Hugh Grant, weirdly enough. The Messenger is fucking brilliant. Basically, the story revolves around Woody Harrelson and Ben Foster, and they're 2 ex-war veterans, and they come back and they've got to do this job of messaging. They've got to go to people's houses and say, like, look, mate, your son's died, or your daughter's died, or... No, Hugh Grant's got nothing to do with it. Oh. But that's what they've got to do in their job. And Ben Foster is just come out of the army, and Woody Harrelson's been doing that job for 10 years, something like that. So Woody Harrelson's like the veteran of the knocking on people's doors and telling them your family member's dead, and Ben Foster's the new guy. Them 2 worked so fucking well together. They suited each other down to a fucking T, and it was such a brilliant film. It was unreal.
Was it a comedy, or was it a more serious?
It was serious. There were moments in it where I wouldn't say it got you teary-eyed, but there's a scene in it where Woody Harrelson breaks down and bawling his eyes out, and you can really see like the emotion in him, and they both did a really good job at it, and the casting was brilliant and the directing was brilliant. It was a really good film.
The only question I've got is it better than Kingpin?
Yes.
Well, I'm definitely going to watch it then.
There we go. And Blitz with Jason Statham. The story revolves around this bloke who he got beat up by Jason Statham. And yes, I should say spoiler alert, by the way, if you're going to watch any of these, and I've spoiled any parts of it, but I'm trying not to. It's about this lad who got beat up by Jason Statham, and now as part of his little revenge thing, he's going to go around and start killing all the cops that are on his department. And Jason Statham's like, I'm not having any of that, sort of thing. That was my best Jason Statham impression. Yeah, and that's not a bad film. It's a pretty stereotypical action film with a decent storyline in it. I would say it's an 18, and there's a fair bit of gore in it, and the fight scenes it does have are pretty cool, and the kills are pretty good. And
British or American?
It's British, yeah. And I'm gonna wrap it up there because I'm taking too much time doing these reviews. So we're gonna move on now to
Fact of the week.
Bearded Aaron, what's your first bollocks fact of the week then?
Sex with animals increases the chance of penis cancer. One of the weird sort of increases the chance of cancer. Some people say bacon increases the chance of cancer.
Crisps, I've heard, increase the or potato snacks as they're called in other countries.
Weirder ones.
Why
sex with animals?
Do you know the reason why that causes a higher chance of penis cancer? Or
because it goes against God. I'm pretty sure it's in the Bible that you're not supposed to lay with an animal.
So basically, God's going, look, I've told you about this before.
Yeah,
you're not listening to me, so.
Old Testament God, the wrathful God.
Sweet lady cancer's going to eat your penis.
Yeah. Not that. Hopefully that doesn't apply to anyone listening.
That is true.
Doesn't apply to any people associated with the podcast.
That is true.
As far as I know, I can only speak for myself.
As far as the listeners know.
Oh yeah.
They don't know what we're doing right now. We've got a couple of some sexy goats lying in front of us here, shaking their thing that we're going to pounce on at the end of this podcast.
I'd just say for any Welsh listeners out there that think twice next time. So, Bearded James, you've brought yourself a bollocks fact along this week.
I have indeed, Bearded Aaron, which is very unusual for me to be introducing on your segments, but fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway.
We need to cut it out before it becomes
a constant, yeah. Well, we have, at that place where I work, told you too many times already, we have sold about 500 copies of Modern Warfare 3 and about 495 copies of Battlefield 3, right? We have had about 46, 47 returns from Modern Warfare 3, and we have had 3 returns from Battlefield 3.
I think that's because Modern Warfare 3 could be described as Modern Warfare 2, the expansion pack.
Or Modern Warfare 1, the expansion part 3, yeah. I like the customers. I've not played Modern Warfare 3 yet because I refuse to give them any more money than what they deserve and what they've already taken off me. But from the customers that have talked to me telling me about the game is like what you just said, they're just describing it as an expansion pack for the game that was already here a few years ago.
I think you should release a game based on an original concept
rather than releasing it for the sake of releasing another title.
Yeah, just to milk the fans.
Which is understandable, yeah, because people are going to get pissed off at some point. I know I already have, and I know people who haven't, but it will happen eventually. So Modern Warfare 17...
You can only milk a teat for so long.
Exactly, and then that teat will get dry.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty will lose.
Saying that though, Mario's still going.
That is true, but...
I'm surprised that teat's not falling off.
But the thing is with Mario is that it's a simple concept that they improve on every time they release one, and it keeps constantly getting better.
Theme.
Yeah.
Whereas Modern Warfare 3...
It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You cannot. There's not enough guns in the world to be able to bring out that many different games with that many different guns. I mean, in fucking Black Ops, they even started to make up their own guns, like the fucking ray gun and the Wonder Waffle or whatever it's called.
The Thunder Gun.
Yeah, the Thunder Gun. That was it.
And the.
So I mean, yeah, Call of Duty, Mr. Call of Duty. If you're listening to this, then get the picture. Just start giving us something.
Have an idea.
Yeah, have an original idea. We're going to go straight back over to Bearded Aaron with the Bollocks Laws of the Week.
This is a Wyoming special of the Bollocks Laws of the Week. In Wyoming, it is illegal to fish with a firearm, which technically isn't fishing.
It's shooting.
Yeah, it's shooting a fish.
But does it mean fishing as in, I don't know, if there's a bayonet on the end, just ramming it in till you catch a fish?
Still
or
not
try
fishing.
and scoop
that's
the fish out with the handle? Or does it mean shooting the fish?
I think it's shooting a fish.
Well, that's not fishing.
No.
Oh, no, but then again it could be.
I don't know the
Because
official
if I got
definition of fishing.
If I got in a lake and just grabbed the fish, I would have still just been fishing.
It's tickling a trout, that is.
Oh god. But it needs to be defined more. How can people run off that law? What about if some bloke gets arrested and doesn't understand the law properly?
Well, he says, well, I didn't fish. I shot a fish with my gun. I've not been fishing. I just went out and shot a fish.
Just fancied shooting a fish.
I take it they can't say it's like shooting fish in a barrel in Wyoming. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
The second Wyoming law we've got is you cannot take a picture of a rabbit from January to April without an official permit.
What?
I'm not sure about that law. I think that's like they've taken hunting season to the extreme.
Yeah.
And any shooting of a rabbit outside of hunting season,
No, but
be it
with the
photography
camera
or
or the gun.
is you need a permit for. I'm not sure. I don't know if that includes your own personal rabbit.
Yeah, what about if it's your own fucking rabbit? If I buy a rabbit and I want to take its photo in January, is that right?
I don't
January
know.
is one of the months.
Yeah.
If I want to take its photo in January, they can go fuck themselves.
Well, I assume if it's your own rabbit in your own house, it's going to be like the oral sex law of Maryland.
That is true. Where whatever
they're not going
happens
to check
in
up
your
on
house.
it. They're not going to
Yeah.
bite into your house and see if you.
I can understand saying, like, if they said you can't kill a rabbit from January to whenever, that's a bit easier to understand than you cannot take a photo of a rabbit.
Yeah. But law's the law.
Law is the law.
I'm going to end this episode with a story from my work experience working in a bank. I'd never got the opportunity to possess a £50 note, but working at the bank, I was behind the till in a little room behind the ATM machines, and there was a £50 note there, and I was left alone with a £50 note and a pen, and I thought, what can I do? So I wrote on the £50 note, "This has been in my bum."
Had it actually been in your bum?
No.
Oh, no.
No,
Right.
I didn't have the time to get it in the bum.
Surely, were nobody watching you when you were in control of these £50 notes?
No, they just left
Why
me with
didn't
a
you
load
just
of
put
money.
it in your pocket rather than thinking, I'm going to write something on this?
I was left in a room with 20 grand.
Why the fuck did you not just take some of it rather than drawing on it?
Because it was a Tuesday, and I had to go back Wednesday, Thursday and Friday.
See, you shouldn't have said the rest, you should have said because it was a Tuesday. Nobody steals money on a Tuesday.
Oh no. But I just thought, the next person that gets this £50 note, they're going to think, have I got it straight after the bum?
The one who's shoved it up his arse?
How many
or-
degrees of separation is there from me and the bum? And because it's on a £50 note, they're not just going to get rid of it. On a fiver, it wouldn't really matter, they'd just get rid of it.
Yeah, true.
On a £50 note, they're going to have to keep it. And every person that gets that £50 note has got to wonder whether or not they've got it just after, or
A few people after, or
if
it's been
10 people,
cleaned.
yeah.
Has it been dry and cleaned since...
how deep up the arse has it been? But that was my contribution to the British banking system in my week work experience.
So I have been Bearded James.
And I've been Weirdy Beardy Aaron.
And this has been Bearded Bollox. And remember, you don't even need a spaceship to fulfill your comic book needs.
Just search for a place and space on eBay.